Azul was published in 2017 by Plan B Games.
It was designed by Michael Kiesling and illustrated by Philippe Guéret and Chris Quilliams. In turn order, 2 to 4 players draft one of 5 different tiles from the market, then lay them on their personal boards to decorate the palace. See each factory display by drawing 4 tiles from the bag. On your turn, take all of one tile color from the display or the center. If taking from a factory display, push the unchosen pieces to the center. The first to draft from the center also takes the starting player tile. Immediately add your chosen tiles to one of the pattern lines on your board. You must go right to left, and lines can only hold a single color at a time. Excess tiles, or ones you're unable to play for any reason, go left to right on the floor line. These cost you points at the end of the round. When all tiles have been drafted, players simultaneously tile their walls. Move the rightmost tile from any full pattern line to the matching space in your wall board. Extra tiles are returned to the box. Each laid tile earns 1 point, plus 1 point for linked horizontal and vertical tiles. For example, adding this red tile gives 6 points, 2 for the horizontal links, 4 for the vertical. Lose 2 points for tiles in the floor line. Once your points have been calculated, return floor line tiles to the box. Refill the factory displays, then a new round begins. Once the draw bag is empty, refill it with tiles from the box. The game ends after the wall tiling phase when a player completes at least 1 horizontal line. In addition to gaining points, players earn 2 for completed horizontal lines, 7 for completed vertical, and 10 for sets of 5 wild tiles of the same color. The player with the most points wins. There are a few advanced rules, including a different board layout, but this gives you the general idea of how things work. To break it down, draft tiles for your pattern lines, optimize placement on your wall, and avoid letting tiles fall on the floor.
That's Azul. Our plays of Azul have averaged 40 minutes, including setup and takedown, plus a few teaching games.
Once we knew what we were doing, our average games were about 30 minutes. The factory displays mean round or square tables work better than rectangular ones, but you only need about 2 feet by 3 to play. The decisions phase, drafting to maximize points and minimize waste, future placement, and etc. mean that this could overwhelm young or inexperienced players. With that said, if someone helps with scoring, I could see experienced 8-year-old gamers enjoying this. I found we refilled the bag more often with 4 players, leading into more downtime. You can also plan your turns as well because the drafting options change more with another player. Finally, another player means another person to suddenly trigger the end.
We first played Azul with our friend Vaughn at our local game cafe.
Dad scooped up a handful of teals while me and Mom slowly worked on our columns. Vaughn started off slowly but ended up filling a few columns at the end to get closer to 3rd place. Only 7 points separated Mom, me, and Vaughn. Not bad. Dad won by around 20 though.
Azul's theme isn't its strong point being an abstract and all, but the colors are distinct, the game looks great, and the pieces feel so nice.
Although the end is defined, when it triggers is up to the players. This is always interesting to me. Do you push your luck, hoping your quick start gives you a solid cushion? Do you try to squeeze out a few more points? What if someone stumbles into trigger in the end because they didn't have a choice? Your plans could be ruined. For a game only 30 to 40 minutes long, the decisions are plenty. Despite the choices, tactical gameplay, and strategic decisions, the rules are straightforward. Teaching is trickier than playing, although scoring can be a bit fiddly. Someone can easily give themselves too many or too few points accidentally. The next in this series, Stained Glass' Sintra, moves scoreboards to a central zone so everyone can better follow along. I really like the first player mechanism. You get first crack at those middle tiles and you get to go first next round. Both are powerful, so you lose a point. Dad rarely takes it, letting others, often Mom, make that first rule. That negative point per round isn't likely to cost you the game, but it's enough that you must weigh the benefit against the penalty. If a player has analysis paralysis, drafting can slow the otherwise quick turns down. AP is when you freeze in making decisions. This also applies to the tiling phase, although at least other players won't necessarily be stuck waiting. The chip pull system means that there's luck to draw, although as tiles comes up, you'll eventually figure out what's still in the bag. Well-designed abstracts are endlessly replayable, and that's the case here. The tiles mean you always have a new puzzle. Board by matching a pattern, flip the board, and make your own. The same rules apply. You can't have 2 colors in the same row or column, meaning, unlike in a standard game, you can block yourself. This means you're more likely to be penalized during gameplay, making luck more of a factor.
Azul is a puzzle game with drafting, tile placement, and pattern building.
Like in another great abstract, Calico, though the theme is a bit stronger there, you've loads of decisions to make, yet gameplay is quick and interesting throughout. People call this a modern classic for a reason. Even feels like it's been around for longer than 2017. Others agree, saying as it's won a ton of awards and sold well enough to lead to others in the series. I mentioned Stained Glass' Sintra earlier, and I plan on reviewing it down the line.
I haven't played enough as recording to compare the two, I'll save that for its review, but I'll absolutely recommend Ozul for families and groups who like clever little puzzles.